Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the October 17th MACMR meeting. This morning, I'm going to ask Commissioner Roberts to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Director, we're glad to have you with us today.
I'm glad to be here.
You feel well enough to lead us in prayer this
I
morning?
I do. And the Lord been blessed to me. So, yeah, and I just found we had a incident last night where a woman that ran off of a bridge there and passed away. So, but they was able to recover, but we want to keep their families in our prayers. We had a man that passed away out on the island this last week, and also would like to keep his family in our prayers. And everybody, I'll obviously, I don't, let's keep Israel in our prayers because we really we need the support. So let's go to the Lord. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you for everything that you do for us. And Lord, we know it's your will, not ours. And we will hope that we can do everything that you want us to do, Lord, and give this commission the wisdom to be able to make the decisions you would have them to do. And bless this department. We ask this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Joe. So, we do not have Jason on, correct?
No, he's had to get on the plane.
Okay. All right. Y'all stuck with us three today. All right. September 19th, 2023 minutes. Do we have any discussion on those? We have a motion to approve. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Today's agenda. Do we have any discussion on it? I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Mr. Joe, we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, first thing up will be our employment and contracts. Employment, we have Miss Melissa Richards, who is a customer service representative and working out of Marine Patrol, and then Alicia Timms, who is ENRS team lead and for Coastal Reserve Resources. So welcome her for both of them. For matter of fact, they both have family ties, and which is very good. Alicia's husband Jeremy works here with us, and Melissa's mother works with us. So we appreciate that, and it's good to have some good people come to work with us. We love it. Thank you very much. Any questions on that? As far as an agency update, the 2019 Bonnie Carey update is we have right now, there was 350 applications for commercial fisheries and 293 were eligible. We had seafood dealers, 50 that applied and 30 that are eligible. Charter operators, 78 that applied, 72 that are available. A total of 478 applications or 395 that are available. I'm proud to say that we have one of them finished, and so we ought to be able to send this to finance today, and that will be for the charter boats. And with the 72 charter boats, each one will be getting $6,950. So we will send that to finance. And is there anything, Rick or Tracy, that they have to do? They'll just come straight out of finance, and they will send them the money, right?
We're going to have a sub-grant agreement signed on each one. So it's going to be a process. We'll have to get those drafted and get those all signed by all the recipients before we can issue payment. So it's going to be a little bit, but we're going to work hard to get it done as fast as we can.
Do we not have that subcontract put together yet?
It's put together in draft form, but I mean, drafting each one individually, they all have to get reviewed, make sure the names are correct and amounts, and that sort of thing. It still goes through a review process.
So could we expect to see those this week or?
Maybe get the drafts out and reviewed, but then the signing process, getting everybody to sign them, that's going to be just depending on how fast they get them signed. So it's hard for me to really say.
But
Hopefully they'll be looking for them, and
yeah, and once they sign them and send them back to us, then we will be able to cut
then
the
we
check.
can pay. Yeah, right. So we've got everything. We've gotten as far, we're set up as we can be till we get the information from fisheries. But
So we'll be
gonna-
able to get get that to the people that are eligible, the 72 this week, hopefully,
hopefully, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and get them out to them. And
I've
then
got
as quick
everybody
as they can
waiting.
get 'em
We're
back.
kind of we're on
Huh?
hold. We're waiting to go. So,
So is that a process to where you have to get 100% of them back before you can send them out
no,
for
we'll
payment,
we'll
or
be
as
process
they?
them as they sign them.
they
So
come in.
just as soon
Okay.
as we get them, we'll start moving them along. It just depends on, and we may have to contact people to, and some may end up coming in and signing in person if they can't figure out their email. Most of them hopefully will sign by email and make it go faster, but
Okay,
it's
great.
I can't. It's just really hard. It just depends on how fast they get to signing. So
All right.
At least we got one of them going, and Tracy's working hard and her team, and to be able to get that other group going, and hopefully that'll work also. We'll be able to. We just have a couple of little minor things that we're working on. Some of our affidavits being signed, and
Yeah.
little things that are happening, but they're working hard, and I hate it's taking as long as it has, but you got to do it right. We want to make sure it's 100% before we do it. So, any questions on that?
No, sir.
Well, if you went to cruising the coast last week, if you didn't see something to do with Mississippi Seafood, something wrong. Because it was everywhere. Mississippi Seafood was very well represented. We were the title sponsor this year, and I tell you what, we went through over 1,000 pounds of boiled shrimp, and those everybody there. It got to a point that people were standing in line waiting for the next one to come out, and it was that good. And people was loving it. They was talking about it. They was wanting to know where do they get this shrimp, and wanted to know how to cook it. Of course, the cooking team was giving them a little bit here and there and saying, "Hey, we'll give you these what we use," but it was absolutely outstanding. And I had one gentleman walk up when I was there, and he said that he's from Louisiana, and he said, y'all don't know anything about this like I do. When he walked away, he said, I guess I just learned a lesson. So I tell you what, it was good with the staff, a whole group of them. I couldn't start to name everyone that worked on it, but they worked hard. We gave away a lot of things for the Mississippi Seafood, and I believe that if nothing else, Mississippi Seafood has got 100,000 plus people to look at it this last week. And so I appreciate everybody's efforts on that. And I know that y'all worked extremely hard, and Francesca was trying to figure out which way to go, left or right, about half the time because there was so many things happening to her. But we appreciate that, and y'all did a great job. So I just want to thank the whole team for that. And I can tell you we'll probably be some kind of sponsor next year because it was that good, and we got that much. And I got to tell another story. I was at one of the functions, and a guy from Reno was there. There was a couple of them, and they were having they have a car show in Reno, and they were down here just looking at ours. Because do you know that Cruising the Coast is the #1 show in the world? #1 in the world, not just in Mississippi, not just in the South, but in the world. Over 10,000 cars this year. That is amazing. And I tell you what, it is a great job that they're doing, and it's a well-oiled machine. When you see how they've got it set up, it is amazing what they do and how they keep up with everything. This guy, he was sitting there, and he said, well, I know one thing. He said, I won't never go to any of these restaurants in Reno and anywhere else anymore and eat seafood. He said, when I want seafood, I'm coming back to Mississippi. Because he said, there's nothing going to top what I've eaten here this week. So that tells you a lot for a lot of people. And we appreciate all our restaurants and our suppliers and our fishermen and everyone that put out the product. Tidelands check. Well, Secretary of State was gracious to us the other day. I know Mr. Ray Carter's back there with him, and he was gracious and walked in with a check for $11,455,247.
I was about to say you're a little light there,
Yeah,
Joe.
I was a little light. I forgot to tell y'all my part of it. But no, that's the second largest check we've ever received, and we appreciate that. And Ray, please pass that on to our secretary. That we appreciate the efforts of our Secretary of State, and the money will go well used. There's a lot of projects out there, and about $6.5 million of it goes to what we call public access. And so that will be done, and then of course we have to pay our. We're the only agency in the state that pays our bond debt off, and so about $1 million, a little over $1 million of it goes to pay the bond debt off, but we pay it off, and that was part of the deal. So we'll keep going, and hours are getting lower every day. Former Secretary Eric Clark, we had a dedication for a coastal preserve dedication in his honor in Gaucher at Indian Point last week on October the 10th, and it was well received, and a lot of people attended it, and I know the secretary was there also at that, but it was a good deal. It was very nice to be able. I didn't know. I got the opportunity to learn something. I got to learn about Eric Clark because I knew who he was. I knew he was Secretary of State, and I knew some things that he had done. But I didn't know that he was pretty much the one behind setting up all the buying of the land and everything for the coast and coastal preserves, and responsible for over 16,000 acres of it that he himself bought while he was Secretary of State. So to be able to dedicate that in his honor was amazing, and that was just absolutely amazing to be able to do that. And we got another dedication coming up, and I just want to thank the team. Jennifer, you and your group, y'all did a great job once again. We appreciate that, and everybody did a great job of doing that, and we appreciate it. We got another one, Galot Island, coming up, and I'm not sure the date right now, but because of everything's going, I would say sometime probably 1st of December that we're looking at, that we'll probably be able to do something with that. And the weather, it was beautiful the other day for the one for Secretary Clark, so we can only hope we have that weather again, because we want to dedicate Galot Island and the Godfather Point, so for Senator Tommy Galot. So hopefully that'll happen soon. I was supposed to go, but Rick's going out and going to represent us at Gulf States Marine this week. I'm not going to be able to go, but he's going to go over and represent us. So Rick will expect good reports out of there. And you go. I don't think we have too much going on. We do have some things that are going on in Marine Patrol side of it, and I hope you're there for that. And I know that we got people that'll be there also. 126 derelict vessels cases have been reported since we started tracking. 81 have been removed, 45 are pending, and 5 that we have court orders on at this time. So we're moving right along with all of that. Let's see what else Crystal got on here. But other than that, I think everything's going good. I appreciate everybody's prayers. The ones that don't know, I had a little bout with cancer. And so I had about a 6-hour surgery last Wednesday, and they removed some tumors and did some other things, and I'm doing good. I tell you what, I'm doing good, and God's been great, and we'll get through this. So, trust them doctors. They're good. Trust them. Sir, that's all I have.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Joe. All right. Commissioners, y'all got anything to report today? Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Sandy. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I forgot Sandy. Yeah, Sandy, I'm sorry.
You got me in trouble with her.
Yeah, I got me in trouble. More than you.
Okay, at the September meeting, we had some new state saltwater finfish records. We had black triggerfish for Byron Ratcliffe, Atlantic blue tang, Sean Cook, yellow edge grouper, Wesley Butler. And those were all recommended by the commission, and the director approved same. And that's it.
All right. Thank you, Miss Sandy. You got something?
Yeah, I just want to come behind the general and thank all of the DMR employees who were out there serving that Mississippi Gulf Coast shrimp. Every time I saw Lieutenant Jeff Payne, he was working his tail off. And so, it's hard for us ever to go out and compete on price. Our stuff is obviously wild caught locally here. It's more expensive to get harvested. So the two things we got going for us is these are great shrimp. They taste way better than the import alternatives, and that they're caught, harvested, and processed by Americans just like us. So thanks again. It was a great event.
All right. Thank you. Lieutenant Payne's all over the place. He came down and helped out with an event we had in this past month, and we were happy to have DMR as a part of that as well. You got anything, King? Got Cam? Still get y'all mixed up ever since high school. All right. Chief, you got a report for us?
Good morning. How y'all like this weather?
Mm.
I'm telling you, we're truly blessed. Direct, that's the first I'm hearing about all that. I will keep you in my prayers.
Thank you.
Well, looking at the report itself, we were very, very productive. Everybody was, it's the best part, compliant. We had a few snapper violations, 5 failure to register tails and scales, and we had a couple of undersized snapper we seized. 3,400 checks this month, folks. I mean, that's a busy October. Oh, excuse me, September. So at the end of the day, very, very compliant citizens, and your officers are working their tails off. Any questions?
I don't believe so. Y'all keep up the good work.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, we do. Joe, if you don't mind, I forgot. I got a phone call on the way here this morning and should have asked this question before the chief came up. But are we done for the year with red snapper? Or
I think we're done for the year. We're still assessing the whole amount of what we've caught. But I think that we're done. I think we're at least to the limit, if maybe not a little over. And so I think we're there.
okay, good deal. Somebody asked me that on the way here this morning. I told them I'd find out while we were here. All right, next up, we're gonna have Katie Nelson with wetlands permitting.
Good morning. So I will be giving a presentation on a it jiggles. Okay. I'm sorry. A request for a permit by the Jackson County Board of Supervisors. The location of the project is a tributary to Bayou Porto, which is adjacent to residences along Solano Circle within Gulf Hills Estates, Ocean Springs, in Jackson County. This will be in the general use district, and the agent is Cypress Environmental and Infrastructure. The project description, it will be a maintenance dredging project. They intend to dredge 2,119 linear feet of the channel to widths ranging from 6 to 20 feet, and final depths ranging from 3 to 4.9 feet below mean low or low water. They're intending to remove approximately 4,626 cubic yards of material. The project area is approximately 1.49 acres in total, and there are certain portions of the project that include dredging less than 10 feet away from SAV, or submerged aquatic vegetation. And they're requesting a variance for that, which will be discussed later. Here's the project location. And here's the overall project area. The 1.49 acres is highlighted in yellow. And there are a couple of portions. The portions in blue are going to be non-impacted submerged aquatic vegetation. And then you'll see okay, sorry, I thought I had a laser. And the dashed lines and the red lines indicate the buffer zone to stay away from the submerged aquatic vegetation. The proposed project is allowable in the current general use district. They are requesting a variance to the Mississippi Coastal Program under Title 22, Part 23, Chapter 8, Section 117.03, which states a minimum 10-foot buffer must be maintained between dredging/excavation and any wetlands. They intend to justify with Title 22, Part 23, Chapter 8, Section 118.04, which states the activity requires a waterfront location, there is significant public benefit in the activity, and a public hearing has been held. So a 10-foot buffer is typically required to limit effects of disturbed sediments that dredging projects will stir up. And this buffer is to keep because the buffer cannot be maintained in this instance, placing a turbidity curtain will help combat that disturbance. It has to run in the paper 3 consecutive times, and there were no public comments received. We had a public hearing last week, and again, no public comments were received. DEQ, we didn't receive any comments during the comment period. MDAH had no objections, and Secretary of State also had no objections to the project. The staff of the Department of Marine Resources has conducted a thorough evaluation of the project and has made findings on the decision factors in accordance with Chapter 22, Part 23, which is the Mississippi Coastal Program. The project would serve a higher public interest by providing sufficient water depths for access and navigation for the surrounding properties near Solano Circle, and therefore, staff requests a motion that the Commission recommend to the Executive Director to approve the requested variance and approve the permit as requested, contingent on the use of turbidity curtains in that 10-foot buffer zone, that the areas where they can't stay within that buffer zone, and the dredge material is made available for beneficial use through MDMR's beneficial use dredge material program. And are there any questions?
Y'all got any?
And just like it states, it's a maintenance situation, and they're doing the best they can do to keep it off the vegetation.
And you're very familiar with this area over there, so. Jonathan, you got anything? Okay. Great job, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve the requested variance and the permit as requested with contingencies.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Report. Miss Leslie, you got some new numbers this month, don't you?
You got my $11,000?
Yeah.
I do, as a matter of fact. Okay, as of September 30th, our state revenue was $3.5 million. Our agency revenue is $16.8 million. State net income is $2 million, and agency net income is $11.6 million. So yes, the 11.6 reflects the 11.4 we just got for Tidelands. And after 3 months, our operating budget is at 97.7%, and our Tidelands has 95% left. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Good job keeping up with all of it. I'm glad I don't have to.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Public affairs, Charmaine.
Good morning. The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources had 11 media mentions since the September MACMR meeting. News items included red snapper season closing, Mississippi Seafood giving out shrimp samples at Cruising the Coast, and Secretary Watson presenting this year's Tidelands check to the MDMR. The Office of Marine Patrol took part in college and career fairs at the Jackson County Technology Center Career and Industry Fair on September 21st, Van Cleve High School on September 22nd, Night Out Against Crime in Bay St. Louis on October 8th, Fishing with Buddies on October 10th, and Safety Day at East Central Middle School on October 13th. IT and Public Affairs set up a booth at the Oceans Expo held in Biloxi September 26th through the 28th, which featured 2,000 registrants from around the world. Shrimp and Crab Bureau scientist Daniel Taylor helped with the Gulfport Episcopal Church's Casting Nets program at Gulfport Harbor on September 20th, where he assisted in teaching underprivileged children to fish. Finfish Bureau's Megan Fleming and Coastal Restoration Management's Katie Nelson participated in National Estuaries Day at the Grand Bay Near on September 30th. Finfish Bureau Director Trevor Moncrief took part in fall camps at the Gulfport Yacht Club on October 3rd, as well as partnering with Fisheries Deputy Director Matt Hill to give a presentation at the Hossfly meeting on October 10th. Seafood Technology Bureau Compliance Inspector Jillian Kraft has been named a Certified Shellfish Standardization Inspector. Jillian started with the MDMR on June 19th and began working diligently towards standardization.
So I just want to wish her a happy birthday on record.
That's amazing. That's great. Well, October is a good month. I think we did this in record speed today, guys and girls.
You're gonna get paid double.
Yeah, there we go. Do we have a motion to adjourn? I'll make it. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Everybody have a great week.